Hi there, Sandra with Brew City Thrift. Today I am at the Goodwill of Waukesha. It is Wednesday after work. It is rainy as all get out, but I am going to head in there and see what they've got. Only got about an hour, but I can do a lot in an hour. So let's get in there and let's hit it. Towards the front of the store are the shelves that have metal items, signs, wall plaques, that kind of thing. So I am taking a look at what I am seeing and nom nom nom. The first thing I pick up is this jewelry tree. It's a metal jewelry tree, and what I like about it are these little birds. You can see it's got three little birds on the tree. It's for hanging bracelets and necklaces, and it's got at the bottom, and it's unmarked, or I don't see mark. Maybe there's a mark under the sticker. It turns out there isn't. It's unmarked, but it's got that kind of a little dish underneath it as well, which is nice for a jewelry tree because you can also just toss something in there. And even though it's probably contemporary, I like it and I am going to pick it up. I use a tree like that myself, pretty similar. Here we have a wooden bank. It looks to be handmade, hand painted for sure. And it's got the plexiglass or acrylic sides so you can see how much money you're saving when you're saving some money. Also, of course, adorably, it is shaped like a ladybug. Isn't that cute? Again, I don't know that it's vintage necessarily, but I like it. Great for keeping track of your allowance when you're a kid. I tend to avoid the large racks of large paintings and whatnot and go over here to, they have smaller paintings and pictures and wall hangings in this area piled together in these little bins. So I am taking a quick look at the things here, and I noticed this little picture. It is of a zebra. It's kind of like an up close portrait of a zebra. It's signed, and I don't know, something about that picture really attracted me. I think it's very cool. It'd be great in a, in a room that has maybe some African elements of decor. And I'm going to hold on to it for a while, but I feel like I'm being watched. So I've moved on to the Chachki aisle here. I forgot to tell you that this is a 20% off everything day at this store. Honestly, I don't think I've ever run into a 20% off everything day at the Goodwills I frequent, or I've missed them all. I am I am excited about that. But a lot of you know that I don't really pay a lot of attention to the tag colors anyway, so that's not going to change how I shop too much. So I thought this bottle was kind of fun. It's clearly a contemporary Halloween piece. I just love the look. I love that gothic horror look for Halloween. And that I have in mind for some friends of mine that are into the gothic horror, but it's very lightweight and kind of plasticky. This, on the other hand, is a lovely, heavy, looks like recycled glass cross. It's got this recycled glass color and look to it. So I put it in my cart to think about it for just a minute. I liked this little starfish glass tray with a peachy edge to it. And then up here I noticed some napkin rings that were very colorful. They were made out of woven cloth, though. This shoe, I've seen these before. They're called character collectibles, and these are by Diane, or I'm not actually sure if the artist is Diane. Anyway, that's fun. It's ceramic. I think people who do those shoe collections might like something like that. A little bit contemporary, though. I decide to leave it, and I take a look at that plaque, which was made out of a heavy material, maybe chalkware. This bird on a rocker was something to look at briefly. It wasn't super exciting. I moved on. This lovely ceramic petaled flower, of course, had many, many chips on the petals there. Then I noticed this really heavy, again, chalkware hat. I kind of like it. I just don't think it would move very fast. I sometimes like fishing items. I guess I think of my son, but I just don't think I'm going to move that very fast, so I leave it. It's thunderstorming as I'm doing this voiceover, so you might hear some thunder in the background in addition to the sounds of shopping, but I'm still among the tchotchkes. I'm interested in this vase. I turn it over and it is Fitz and Floyd. It is a little bit chippy and I decide I'll leave it. This style isn't as interesting to me as this globe. Yeah, now this is something that I like. This has a old world globe. It has that very vintage look to it, and it is made in Italy. So this is coming with me. A couple of scratches there on the base, but I can deal with that. It was a pretty crystal trinket box. Got some owls. This is a Raggedy Ann and Andy music box. And it still plays. Those, unfortunately, they were all the rage back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, but they are not as popular anymore. This wolf was kind of a nice piece. That's a hand detailed wolf and owl. Kind of a nice pair, but then I'm distracted by this brightly colored duck. It is a hand painted Korean wedding duck, and I've sold these before. I love them, but it's just a single, so I'm gonna have to leave it on the shelf. On another set of shelves, there are some trinket boxes here. That looks like it could be, oh, I don't know, maybe Takahashi, Japanese 1970s or something like that. The one on the right, maybe around the same time frame, maybe in the 80s. This looks a little bit like the figurines that I pick up, the Fleuryville Snowman figurines, but it's an angel. That puppy dog is missing its tail. Oh, we have the other Korean wedding duck. Ah. Well, we've got a pair then. So that means I'm going to come back and pick up the mate. They usually have a piece of yarn tied around their beaks. I am not 100% sure of the significance of that. But I am happy to pick those up. I just think they're colorful and delightful, hand painted, and of course, they would make an interesting wedding gift to anyone that getting married, even if they're not Korean. I just think it's a sweet tradition. And again, really pretty to display. If you're a thrifter like me, do you ever think about kind of what moves you to pick something up on one day and then another day you might leave it behind? Because this is a Royal Copenhagen vintage Christmas plate. And I've picked some up recently. This one I leave behind. So why do I pick some up and I leave others behind? Why am I interested one day and not another day? It's a kind of a bit of a mystery. I think it has to do with what else you're finding. The fact that I already have two of those plates. But anyway, over here in the collector plate area, just looking through briefly because again, collector plates that were made for collections don't typically resell very well. This is a nice plate, and then Chinese plate, a lot of hand painting there, and Moriagi. Kind of looks like geisha ware. And underneath it, look at this beautiful hand painted plate. That's really pretty. Looking for a signature. There's a signature. So I need to take a little bit of a closer look at it. Looking for a mark on the back. Somebody had already peeled that back a little bit, so I pulled it more and there is no mark. I'm going to have to put it back. It's really pretty. Another day I might have taken it, but today I put it back. Some more Royal Copenhagen or Danish little trinket dishes. This one is actually Porsgrund. I think that's Norwegian. I've picked it up in the past, that brand, and it doesn't go for a super high return, but they're nice. I'm among the boxes, and I noticed these boxes that are full of dolls' clothing. They're made to look like old-fashioned clothing trunks with doll clothes in them. So those are kind of cute. Lightweight though. And moving on, I don't do a lot of dolls anyway. So moving along, I am noticing something nestled among these boxes. It is a little wooden cat figurine. It's abstract, which I love. It's hand painted. That makes it cute. Super lightweight, maybe like balsam or something. And I'm thinking about it because it's kind of kitschy. It doesn't necessarily look like it's got a lot of age, but I do like it. So I'm going to put it in my cart and think about it a while. It's a cute cat. I'm in the area with planters, and of course, these stand out. We've got a series here of very cute donkey planters, all different, all hand painted. Some could be vintage. This one looks maybe Italian. This one looks like it could be maybe vintage American. Same with this one. And finally, this one looks a little more contemporary to me. Same kind of style though. Super fun. I don't pick up a lot of themed planters, but someone might have an entire collection right there in one trip to Goodwill. Down here, I noticed this little pot because it had violets on it. Turning it over, it looks like it's saying it is Hager. A little Hager flower pot. How cute is that? So no chips on the rim. The bottom does have a little damage, but I think that is something I can work around. And it is Hager. So that's a sweet little spring flower pot. I'm going to take that with me. Among the vases, I am seeing a lot of variety. The first thing that I pick up is this wooden vase. It looks like it's a turned wooden vase with some pretty silvered flowers and details around it. I decide to move on, but it is a pretty vase. Next, I pick up this large glass vase. It looks like it could be a little bit cased. The bottom is clear. It's got a lovely cranberry color. It's a nice piece. Modern lines. I'm going to move on today though. Lots of variety here. That's always so much fun. The next one I decide to pick up and look at is this one. This looks super contemporary, but I did like the style. It's got some nice details there with the different colored glass stripes along the sides, and it's got kind of a free-form feel to it, which I like in glass. So pretty spring green as well, so I'm gonna think about that a while. Here among the china sets, these clear glass plates with the light pink rim catch my eye. They look like they could have some age. I don't know the maker. I do like the look. There's a pair of them. There were 4, I might have taken them, but for just a pair I decided to leave them. Underneath them is a pretty hand-painted sunflower plate. It is tabletops. So contemporary, very pretty though. Moving along, I noticed this, another hand-painted floral plate. It's quite heavy, which is the clue that yes, it is. It is Syracuse restaurant ware. I like more geometric designs for restaurant ware. And down here we have a Warren Kimball rooster, a little bit beat up though. The cardinal design caught my eye on this plate, and turning it over, I've discovered it is a Lenox plate. and only $1.99, but I am not looking to pick up any more Christmas for a while. This plate also caught my eye. It looked like it was a little bit vintage, and it is by Johann Haviland. I have my own personal set as a Johann Haviland set. This is not one that I would typically pick up. There's another vintage plate, pretty common, covered bridge look. Looking at this plate down here, it looks hand painted. It is reverse painted, fairly contemporary. It's a little angel. And then we've got some more hand painted looking plates. They are Pioneer Woman. They are contemporary. So I am running out of time, and I wanted to make it to this section, which I really like at this store, and I never seem to have enough time to look through everything the way I want to. Today isn't the same. The first thing that catches my eye are these Art Nouveau looking, Art Deco looking sugar and creamer set, and they are Bavarian. They're lusterware, gilded. Another day I might have picked them up. Today I moved on quickly. I was looking at this cake server, it's ceramic, then quickly at this milk glass creamer, or it might have been just ceramic. Then down here I noticed another spoon rest. I do like spoon rests. I do move them typically, so I look for them, but in that case that one wasn't too special. Scanning quickly down here, these are like a quartz stone set of coasters. That might be Noritake right there, something like that. Piece of pottery. Oh, I thought this might be Fiesta. A Fiesta cup and saucer. Underneath it was another little maybe vintage baking dish. Down here on the lower shelf, these are Pier 1. They are boxed. It's a set of matching napkin rings. They're beaded, and because they're boxed, new in the box, I decide I'm going to pick them up. I'll either donate them or try reselling. So it's cart review time, and the first thing I picked up was this metal jewelry tree with the 3 birds, which make it super cool. We've got the hand painted, possibly handmade coin bank with the plexiglass sides so you can see through and see how much money you've got. We've got the hand painted Korean wedding duck pair. We've got this hand painted kitty cat. Now I put that back on the shelf. I decided I didn't need that. Couple candles, you know me, always picking up the candles. Here is that Hager violets pot. Needs a little bit of a cleaning, but it is a piece of Hager. Then we've got the Italian old world tabletop globe. This pretty spring green vase goes back on the shelf. It's pretty contemporary, but I do take the Pier 1 box napkin rings in the beaded leaf shapes. Okay, so I think that even though I ran out of time and I was the last person to leave and I didn't get through the store, we still managed to find a few cool things, mostly fun stuff like that pair of Korean wedding ducks. I mean, they're just such cool looking fun things. Hope you had a good time. Like my channel, subscribe and comment, come back. Thrift on, we will do this again.